And so welcome to the Paul Clark Podcast. Just a quickie this one. It'll only be about 5 or 6 minutes, if that. This is actually my second podcast of the day, you lucky people. I've got a question I really want answered, please. So wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, could you please just comment below and give me your feedback on this? Because the more feedback I get on it, the more feedback I get on this subject, hopefully the better educated and the more I'll understand. Because I want to understand why the left seem to be incapable of protesting peacefully these days. Today I've witnessed some of the most appalling acts of violence and abuse, some of which has been aimed at myself. Certainly the online abuse. I've just had like all day pretty much. My phone has just been going ping, 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 ping. I mean, it'll probably happen during the recording of this podcast, if I'm honest with you. My phone will probably start pinging away, and it'll be another hater. And they've really gone to town today. The social justice warriors and the protesters on the streets, and not just in America, not just in New York, not just in Washington, but here in the UK as well. I know there's been protests in London, protests in Birmingham. There was even a protest at my former university, a big protest there that was on the local radio today. My mum told me. So, what's going on? I mean, what happened to the days when people just accepted democracy? Like, my dad will tell you about when he was working on the railway and when he's worked in various factories, that, yeah, you'd talk politics and you'd agree or you'd disagree, but it never got emotionally raw to the point where people would be so outraged that they have to take to the streets with a placard and start blimmin' smashing up windows. I mean, I've seen today some appalling acts of violence in America in particular. You know, in New York, a Starbucks just got trashed, absolutely trashed. There's been protests, as I say, in this country. McDonald's, a local McDonald's had to close for the day because you had anti-Trump protesters threatening to just trash the place. And these people call themselves liberals. What is it they say? Nothing more illiberal than a liberal. And I don't get what's with the anger, what is with the rage. When you consider that our parents, the previous generation, they had all these... I mean, this is nothing new, I suppose. The only thing that's new about it is social media. But it feels like there's a lot more anger and a lot more rage contained within people these days when they don't get what they want as far as politics goes. So they have to take to the streets and they have to yell, scream, kick, punch. A young lad, 21, 22, I think he is. He does a show on Right Side Broadcasting, the Right Side Broadcasting Network. Go and check them out at rsbn.tv. And his name is Will, and he does a show called Raised Right, and then it's about being a conservative on campuses in colleges and universities across America. He was attacked today. He was doing a live broadcast in New York, and he was attacked by a bunch of protesters. They just came up, threw him to the floor, smashed the camera. I think he's okay. He tweeted that he was okay, but he got attacked. What's going on? What's up with you liberals? Why are you such crybabies for? Look, I've got friends who do not like Trump, but they're not out there rioting because they've been brought up properly. And I think a lot of it comes down to that. It's lack of breeding is what it is. I mean, maybe look back in their history. Maybe they were abused when they were younger. Maybe they were neglected by mom and dad. I mean, and I'm not trying to insult them. I'm just putting out things that I think maybe are the solution for the reason they are like the way they are. Why they're such crybabies. Why they're attacking people. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe it's me that doesn't see the bigger picture. I mean, I still want to know what they're protesting against, by the way. Like, I can understand protesting, when the man's actually putting forward policies and things and changes that affect your life. Like Mrs. Thatcher had the poll tax. I get protesting about that. I even get protesting about the war in Iraq. That's fine. Protest about Trump when he gets rid of the disaster that is Obamacare. But what are you protesting about at the moment? He hasn't done anything yet. He's only just been sworn in, inaugurated today. So what's the problem? And if you're going to protest, are you incapable of doing it peacefully, with little to no abuse? A lot of rage amongst the left these days. A lot of rage, but there is nothing more illiberal than a liberal. But please, maybe you've got the answers. Maybe you can educate me as to why the left are so full of hate and rage and why they have to attack and abuse people. Thanks for listening. As I said, very short podcast, but I really would appreciate your feedback on this, guys. Thanks very much. Take care, and I'll see you soon.